Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is May 12th. The Cardinals and the Twins are back, and Bud Black is let go by the Rockies. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today? Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a good one. Lots of things to be talking about in today's episode. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. That I doubt any of them are listening to this episode right here in this podcast. But hey, if you are, thank you. Thanks for being here. It's good to see all the players, with their pink bats and cleats and catcher's gear and all that stuff, and all the great moments and memories and things that come out of the games from yesterday. It's really cool, really special for a lot of those players. So big ups to all that. And so let's get going into today's episode and get into our series recap. Leading things off, we have the Brewers and the Rays. The Rays take the first two games 4-3 and 3-2. Travis Jankowski gets the walk-off single in that second game, but the Brewers come back in the third game. Yelich and Contreras goes back-to-back in the fourth inning. Brewers avoid the sweep. They win the last game 4-2. Red Sox and Royals. Now, this first game, we're scoreless through 10. That's right, we're already into extras. Still scoreless. Both score 1 in the 11th. But in the 12th, it's Freddie Freeman who wins it for the Royals, a walk-off single. In 12, it's a long and lengthy 2-1 victory for Kansas City. But Boston comes back. They score three run innings in that second game to a 10-1 victory. And then in the final, Wilyer Abreu and Rafael Devers both go deep. Red Sox take it 3-1, and in total take 2 of 3 from the Royals. Giants and Twins. The Twins on a blinder, 3-1 in the first game, 2-1 in the second game. Trevor Larnach has that 2-run home run, the only runs in the game for the Twins. And in the last game, this one would go into the 10th inning, where after a back-and-forth game, it's Deshaun Kersey Jr. getting the walk-off single, one of the newer Twins prospects, young kids getting a chance right now. And he gets, with the Twins' 8th straight victory. They're on a heater, 7-6 to final that one. They sweep the Giants. Phillies and Guardians. The Guardians get a lift from Kyle Manzardo, Angel Martinez, and Jose Ramirez to let them get a 6-0 victory over the Phillies in the opener. Harper homers in Game 2, part of a 7-1 victory for the Phillies. And then it's the Schwarber game as he hits 2 home runs to bring him up to 14 total on the year. His 2 home runs, all 3 RBIs in this game. Phillies win it 3-0 and take 2 of 3 from the Guardians. Marlins and White Sox. Andrew Vaughn getting some home runs early, gets 1 in the game 1 in game 2. It is a 6-2 White Sox victory, a 3-1 Marlins victory in game 2. But in that last game, it's about Tim Elko, who gets his first MLB hit and his first MLB home run. It's a 3-run go-ahead blast off of Sandy Alcantara, Cy Young Award winner a couple years ago. Big moment for Elko as the White Sox take a 4-2 victory and take 2 of 3 from the Marlins. Rangers and Tigers. Josh and Jace Young, brothers, facing off for the first time. Mother is bringing the dual-wielded jersey, and she threw out the first pitch on Mother's Day. So very cool moment for the Young family. Tigers get the first game 2-1. Then in the second game, the Rangers tee off. It's Josh Smith. Evan Carter hits his first home run of the year. Jock Peterson hits his first home run of the year. That was surprising. And then Corey Seager, he had 2 home runs in the game, a total of 5 Ranger home runs to a 10-3 victory. And it didn't end there as Marcus Semien, Jonah Heim, and Josh Young hit homers in the third game. So Josh gets the better of Jace in the brother meeting for the first time. Rangers take 2 of 3 from the Tigers. They take that last game 6-1. Yankees at Sutter Health taking on the A's, and it's Jason Dominguez with the game of the year for him. He hits 3 home runs, including a grand slam. He was 3 for 4, 7 RBIs, 3 runs. The Yankees take a 10-2 victory. Aaron Judge then hits 2 homers in the next game, bringing his total up to 14 home runs on the year. But the A's have home runs from Luis Urias, Brent Rooker, and Shea Langeliers. The A's even up the series 11-7 there. And in the final game, it's Ben Rice getting his first career grand slam, 12-2 Yankees, as New York takes 2 of 3 from the A's. Blue Jays in Seattle take on the Mariners, and the Jays get some revenge from earlier in the year, a 6-3 victory in the opener, then another 6-3 victory as the Jays scored 6 unanswered for a comeback W. And in the last game, it's George Springer with a Springer dinger. Addison Barger hits his first home run of the year. All Toronto in Seattle, 9-1 that last game. They sweep the Mariners. Oilers and Angels now tee off, and it's Gunnar with a home run and a triple in the opener, leading to a 4-1 victory. Angels even the series up with a 5-2 win. And in the last game, it's another Gunnar bomb. And down to their final out, Matthew Lugo gets his first career MLB home run as a pinch hitter. How about that for the kid on Mother's Day? Baltimore still holds on 7-3 the final there, and they take 2 of 3 from the Halos. Reds and Astros. Astros edge out a 3-0 victory on the back of a great start from Brown. But the Reds come back in Game 2. It started with a 3-run home run from Elly De La Cruz, and that turned into a 10-run first inning for the Reds. Astros did a really good job to come back in this one, but 10 runs in the first is a very hard mountain to climb. 13-9 Reds. And in the last game, the Astros shut out the Reds once again. 6-0 the final there. Yanier Diaz, a 3-run home run, helps out, as well as Ronald Blanco with a great start. Astros take 2 of 3 from the Reds, 6-0 there. Cardinals and Nationals. It's a complete game shutout for Eric Fetty against his former team. It's all Cardinals in this series. 10-0 in that first game, 4-2 in the second game, and then get some home run help from Lars Nootbaar, Wilson Contreras, and Nolan Arenado, as all three of them go deep in the 6-1 Cardinals victory for the sweep, and that is their 8th straight win in a row. How about that? Cubs and Mets meet. Lindor, Beatty, McNeil, Soto. Those 4 all go deep for the Mets. A 7-2 victory in the opener. Brett Beatty's gotten hot all of a sudden because he gets 2 homers in Game 2 for 3 on the series so far. Dansby Swanson goes deep for the Cubs, and the Cubs actually edge this one out over the Mets. 6-5 your final there. But the Mets would come back, hit 2 homers in the 8th in Game 3. Mark Vientos would go deep earlier, and then Lindor and Nimmo go deep in that 8th inning. It's 6-2 Mets final. The Mets take 2 of 3 from the Cubs. Braves and Pirates. The Pirates with a 3-2 victory in the opener. Then the Braves in the 11th get a 3-2 victory. Olsen had a home run in this one. The Braves scored on a wild pitch in the 11th. They held the Pirates from there to even up the series. And then this time it's Joey Bart that gets the walk-off fielder's choice / infield hit to a 4-3 Pirates win. All 1-run games, all very close games, but the Pirates take 2 of 3 from Atlanta. Which brings you to the Padres and the Rockies. Michael Toglia, Ryan McMahon, Jordan Beck, all of them homer for the Rockies. And they still find a way to lose this game, 13-9 your final there. Then Game 2, well, it was a game. Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth, Jason Hayward, Xander Bogaerts, Fernando Tatis Jr., they all homer in this one. They had an 8-run inning. They had a 5-run inning. They had a 4-run inning. All of which before the 6th inning of this game. It was 20-0 after 6. This game finishes 21-0. An absolute wild game there, but it's okay because the Rockies come back on Mother's Day. Hunter Goodman, a home run and a triple for him. He was 3 for 5 with 5 RBIs. Ryan McMahon also homers, and that 21-0 game is a game in the past because the Rockies win it 9-3. They avoid the sweep and get a game against the Padres, who take 2 of 3 from Colorado. And that brings us to the Dodgers and the D-backs that played a 4-game series, and it started with Gabriel Moreno hitting a grand slam off of Yoshinobu Yamamoto in the first game. Ketel Marte with a solo shot as well to a 5-3 D-backs win. Then an absolute crazy game on Friday that saw 5 lead changes. It's a back-and-forth affair that ends with the Dodgers winning 14-11. Like I said, absolute crazy game. D-backs come back though. Suarez hits his 12th home run of the year. It's 3-0 Arizona in that one. But the Dodgers on Mother's Day saw Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts both go yard in Arizona. Dodgers win that one 8-1, and LA and Arizona end up splitting the 4-game set 2 apiece, and that is your series recap. Alrighty, now let's get to the game of the weekend, and I'm taking you to Friday in Arizona, Dodgers and D-backs. This game was absolute insane. The D-backs are rocking their new purple City Connects. Such an amazing journey. God, I need to get one of those ASAP. Oh my God, I'd wear that all the time. It's such a good jersey. Anyways, top of the first, the Dodgers are already on the board with Freddie Freeman getting a sac fly, but it lasts all of, well, not even an inning, because in the bottom of the first, Ketel Marte, he goes deep, his second of the year to tie the game up, and then Suarez goes deep. It's a 2-run shot. It's his 11th of the year. Those 2 home runs make a 3-1 Arizona lead after 1. But in the top of the second, the Dodgers get their runs back. Kike Hernandez, he gets his 6th home run on the season to make it 3-2. And then Ohtani, an RBI double, ties the game up at 3-2. Top of the third, the Dodgers strike. Andy Pa has a 2-run single. Then James Outman, he gets a fielder's choice, and 2 runs would score on an error by Josh Naylor to make it 7-3. And then Mookie Betts a sac fly. It's a 5-run third inning that puts the Dodgers up 8-3. Bottom fourth, Gurriel, he grounds out to score a run. And then next inning, it's Gurriel again, but it's no ground out. It's a game-tying grand slam. His 7th home run of the season turns this game around from down 5 to tied 8-8 through 5. Bottom of the 6th, the bases loaded. Suarez would get a walk to make it 9-8. The D-backs would have the lead until the bottom of the 8th, in the bottom of the 8th, they would add to that 1-run lead. Ketel Marte hits his 2nd home run of the game. It's a solo shot once again, his 3rd on the year. And he's joined by Randall Grichuk, who pinch hits. They go back-to-back, and Grichuk goes yard, his 1st home run on the year. So far, it's a great day for Arizona in their new City Connects as they debut it. But in the top of the 9th, down 3, the Dodgers don't go away. Pages gets an RBI double. Hernandez gets an RBI double. Max Muncy singles, ties the game up at 11. And then who else but Shohei Ohtani hits a 3-run home run, his 12th of the season. It's a 6-run inning for the Dodgers, and it goes from down 3 to up 3 as the Dodgers hold on, get the win against Arizona. It's definitely a tough one to lose if you're Arizona. New City Connects. You had, Marte 2 homers, the Gurriel grand slam, Grichuk goes deep, Suarez goes deep. It was a really good game for Arizona, but the Dodgers are the Dodgers. They come out on top in this one, 14-11 the final. A clear pick for game of the weekend. So now let's dive into the baseball news, and basically there's only one thing that's really standing out to me, maybe 2 technically. These Cardinals and these Twins, man, what happened? What happened from the start of May to where we are right now on the 12th of May? I'll tell you, both these teams have turned it around, and it's funny that it's both of these teams, because when I compare the AL Central to the NL Central, these are the 2 teams that I match. Pirates and White Sox, teams that are usually at the bottom of the league. Brewers and Guardians, teams that have been, towards the top of the league in recent years and, have kind of struggled a little bit this year. Still both good teams. Royals and Reds, both fun, upcoming teams that so far this season have been pretty impressive. Cubs and Tigers, teams that have been quiet in recent years, but all of a sudden have been balling out and are the 2 teams at the top of the division. And then the Cardinals and Twins, 2 teams that, I think both think that they are the best teams and have been very good teams in years past, but the last couple of years have both struggled mightily. That's how I compare the AL and NL Central. It's very similar in my mind, these teams. So yeah, they are both on 8-game winning streaks. On May 2nd, 2025, if we go back 10 days ago, We were 14 and 19 and 13 and 20. Both of these guys, they were 7 games under 500. They were, 5 games under. They were both struggling hard. The Twins were 4th. They were 13th and 20th. They were on a 4-game losing streak. They were just bad. Cardinals 14 and 19. They're in 4th. They've just been struggling. Like, both teams have just not clicked. All of a sudden, you win 8 games in a row. Guess what? You're clicking, The Cardinals have jumped from 4th to 2nd. They're now 22 and 19 on their 8-game winning streak and are only 1 game back of the Cubs. Meanwhile, the Twins, despite an 8-game winning streak, and as impressive as that is, it's also kind of difficult when the 3 teams above you are also just as good right now. The Tigers are 7-3 in their last 10. The Guardians are 6-4 in their last 10. The Royals are 7-3 in their last 10. So despite an 8-game winning streak, the Twins are still 4th in their division. But they are above 500 for the first time this season. They're now 21 and 20. Still 5 games back of the Tigers, but still an 8-game winning streak. And by the way, Royals, Guardians, and Tigers all lost their series this weekend. All 3 of them are on 2-game losing streaks. So this is still a chance for Minnesota to keep on racking up those wins to kind of get back in the swing of things. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, with the essential being as closer as they are, have been able to really jump up to 2nd, 1 game back of the division, 2 games back of the wild card. They've already passed Brewers and the Reds, and they've been killing the game as well. Going off of Minnesota, Buxton's been healthy, and that's a big reason to why they've been great. 6 for 21 in his last 7 games, a double, a triple, 2 home runs. He's been great. Harrison Bader, 5 for 11. He's got a 1.389 OPS. He's been fantastic. Brooks Lee got a home run. Correa's been, he got a home run recently. Johan Duran, he's, been as amazing as they come for the Twins in the rotation right now. I mean, that's kind of where a big thing also comes down to is Minnesota's pitching. Joe Ryan has been locked in. Pablo Lopez looks great. Bailey Ober's has some good starts as well. Chris Paddock had a really good one recently. So, I mean, with that rotation, with Simeon Woods Richardson, still trying to figure out some innings here, they've been solid as a whole. Johan Duran, 20 games. He's got 7 saves, a 0.93 ERA. He's been fantastic. Danny Colombi, however you want to pronounce it, 18 games, 8 hits allowed, 19 strikeouts, no runs, no home runs, no hit by pitches, only 1 walk and 8 hits in his 16 and a third innings. Bullpen's been great, pitching's been solid, and the hitting is starting to come around. You just need to see more of it, and so far, that's what's keeping the Twins afloat right now. You go onto the NL side. Nolan Arenado's been good, 6 for 16 in his last 7. Wilson Contreras, 4 for 14. Both those guys got a home run. Lars Nootbaar, 6 for 21. He gets a home run over the past week. Donovan's been great, 4 for 20 recently. Like, there are guys who've been, putting up some sneaky numbers, but for me, it's also been the pitching that's taken the step up for St. Louis, because it's not just, the struggling guys, because Sonny Gray's been okay, but, not the Sonny Gray we thought. Eric Fetty's been good. Matthew Liberatore in the recent kind of, streak has had a nice outing or two. Mikolas has been figuring things out. You got Steven Mass, who's been, sneaky good. I mean, 11 games, 2 of which have been starts, but he's been coming out of the bullpen. He's got 26 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's got a 1.35 ERA. Kyle Lay, 18 games. He's got a 1.21 ERA. Helsley, a little bit of a struggle in compared to usual seasons for him, but he's been a solid back end there still. So they're, I think both the Twins and Cardinals right now, if you are a Twins fan, if you're a Cardinals fan, you take this. You take this high, you run with it, because honestly, I still think this could be, maybe the highlight of the season for these teams. I'm not sold. I think an 8-game win streak, it's very nice, but we're only in May. Other teams will get hot like this and can go on these crazy win streaks. I mean, just looking at the league as a whole right now, they obviously are separated from the rest. But the next is the Blue Jays, who are on a 4-game win streak, and like teams can get streaky. The Nationals are on a 5-game losing streak. Like, is that really them? Like the Padres are on a loss streak. The Rockies are on a 1-game winning streak. Who cares? But I think, like when I look at the Central, the Twins are on an 8-game winning streak and they're still fourth. I still believe in the Tigers more. I still believe in the Royals more, and I still believe in the Guardians more. That's just safe to say. And when I look in the Central, the Cubs have been balling out still. They've been having their hots and colds. The Brewers are still a top team, and I think the Reds are still kind of fun, despite, like it's all close there. It's not like the Cardinals have like 8-game winning streak and have a 7-game lead on the division. No, they've gotten back into the battle. It's now a 4-team battle again. So what can you make out of it? And like for me, I would choose the Cubs. I would hopefully, bank on the potential of the Reds and like their fun young talent there. So for me, I think I believe in the Cardinals a lot more because of how like condensed that division is. It's all right there. The difference between first and fourth is 3.5 games, and for the Central, it's 5 games now. But it was a lot more, just a short bit ago. If we go back to May 2nd, the Twins were 8 games back, and in their 8-game winning streak, they've put in 3 games back. So, that's what I'm saying. They can win 8 straight, but when the Tigers are still putting up great numbers, and the Royals, who were 8-2 at that time, like they're still top teams. The Cardinals were 6 games back at that time, and on their 8-game winning streak are now 1 game back. So they've made up 5 games, while the Twins have made up 3 essentially, and that's just because Tigers still play good baseball. Cubs, had a tougher week. Like it's just a week-to-week thing, and this is the whole thing. We're gonna be talking about the Twins and Cardinals right now, being like, oh yeah, 8-game winning streak. This is incredible, and it is. It's hard to win that many games in a row. It is difficult, but it's not impossible, and it's something we see a few times in a season. One team will just have that kind of a week where you just go up, and maybe you get lucky against a couple of teams. Maybe you have the right matchup where you play the White Sox and the Rockies in the same week. Like, who knows? It's not impossible. It is just hard to maintain. So while right now the Twins and Cardinals are maintaining it, we are only in May. We're only in the second full month of the season. We're only at essentially game 40 of the season. Still 122 games to go. So it'll be interesting. Will we see a Twins team in the postseason? Will we see a Cardinals team in the postseason? We still have plenty of months to think about that and figure that out. But for now, from where you guys were at 14-19 and 13-20 for both of you teams to be above 500, to both be on 8-game winning streaks, that is a huge piece going forward here. And let's just see if you guys can keep it up. Minnesota, they'll be taking on Baltimore, who has all this talent, but has had a really tough year so far, a really tough year. And the Cardinals get the Phillies, who are one of the best teams in baseball, top 5 realistically. They have plenty of talent. So, if you guys can get through your series here, if we're on Friday and we're talking about an 11-game winning streak for one of you guys, hey, you know what? That's when you guys can start getting some flowers. But for now, keep up the great baseball. Keep the pitching going, keep the hitting going, and then we'll see where the season ends up going for you guys. Simple as that. Moving on here, the other bit of baseball news to mention, the Rockies. They're setting up for some history this season. They have been to a horrendous start for the first 40 games. They're 7-33. And the White Sox are 12-29. Just saying. 7-33. They're winning 17% of their games. They're 19.5 games back. In 40 games played, they're almost 20 games back of their division. It's been that kind of year. So the Rockies are making a move, and they're firing their manager, Bud Black, which honestly is crazy because I don't remember a Rockies team where Bud Black wasn't the manager. He was in his 9th season with the Rockies. It started off lovely in 2017 when he took over. His Rockies were a wild card team. They made the postseason. 2018, they were another wild card team. They won their wild card game. That was against the Cubs, I believe. And then they got swept by the Dodgers. So, those 2 years were solid. The Rockies finished third. They finished second. From that point on, they became the Rockies that we've kind of gotten to know. In 2019, they were fourth. They were fourth for those next 3 years, actually, in the division, 2019, 2020, and 2021. In the last 3 years, they were fifth, and it's been very struggling seasons. They've just kind of gotten worse each year. In 2023, they were 59 and 103. Last year, they were 2 games better at 61 and 107. But those percentages are like 37% wins, 420% wins. They're at 17 right now, 17 and a half. Like, that's really bad. So Bud Black has moved on. They are making Warren Schaffer their interim manager going forward right now. But yeah, just a really tough year. But congrats to Bud Black, honestly. Like it has been a very nice tenure there for him in the Rockies. I mean, not your most winning manager isn't going to change the dynamics of a team, but also when it is a team like Colorado, it's hard to do that. They've been a bottom dweller for many years, realistically. In his 9 seasons, he picked up 544 wins and 690 losses. That's 44-1 win-loss percentage in 1,234 games. He averaged, fourth in the division, and in the postseason, he was 1-4. 5 games played. And that's what the Rockies were able to do. And he got ejected 13 times in his tenure with the Rockies. So hopefully, this isn't the last we see of Bud Black, but it definitely very well could be. So just something to think about here as, we'll see what the Rockies can do from this point on. I mean, I think at this point for the Rockies, it's a win of a season if you don't break the White Sox record from last year. If you can do that, it's a solid year for you guys at this point. Just don't break the record. That's all I'm saying. Moving on here. Hot and colds for the week. Heliot Ramos was hot. 10 for 16. 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 4 runs, 2 walks, and a 1.855 OPS for him. Ryan McMahon, 9 for 18. 2 doubles, 3 home runs, 4 RBIs, 8 runs, 6 walks. A 1.736 OPS for him. Freddie Freeman, 12 for 23, 3 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. He had 10 RBIs this week, 6 runs, a 1.519 OPS. Jackson Merrill in his first week back from the IL, healthy and hitting. 11 for 19, 2 doubles, a home run, 6 RBIs, 5 runs, a 1.442 OPS there. And how about Rafael Devers, still the DH, 10 for 21, a double, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 3 runs, 5 walks, a 1.387 OPS. He's trying to milk every last DH appearance he can before he potentially heads to first base. On the cold side of things this week, Alex Verdugo was 1 for 24 with 5 Ks. Brian Reynolds, 1 for 19 with 8 Ks. Ozzie Albies, 1 for 24 with 7 Ks. James Outman, 1 for 15 with 10 Ks. And then Seiya Suzuki, 2 for 22 with 7 strikeouts. Those are your cold players. And your hot players, that's your hot and cold from the week. Which brings us now to our injury updates. A few guys heading on the IL. Casey Mize, off to a great start this year with Detroit. He will find himself on the 15-day IL with a strained hamstring, and Shota Emenaga will join him on the 15-day IL also with a strained hamstring. Tough one there for the Cubs. Andres Jimenez from the Blue Jays will be on a 10-day IL with a strained quad. And then, as I mentioned on the last episode, Hunter Green was most likely going to take an IL stint. It is officially on the 15-day IL. He has a strained groin, is what it says there. Those are the injury updates from this previous week of baseball. And that brings us to our outstanding performances. And we had some outstanding ones, let me tell you. Brandon Pfaadt, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, and 6 Ks. Tarek Skubal was brilliant, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 12 strikeouts. How about the pitching matchup between Hunter Dobbins and Michael Lorenzen in that Red Sox-Royals game that was scoreless through 10? Dobbins, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 6 Ks. Michael Lorenzen, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 7 Ks. As mentioned, Eric Fetty, complete game shutout against his former team. 9 innings pitched, 6 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 8 Ks. The Sheriff, Chris Paddock, how about a start for him? 7 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, no walks, and 6 Ks. Will Warren with his best start of the year so far for the Yankees. 7 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and 7 Ks. Ranger Suarez with a bounce-back start in his second appearance on the season. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 5 Ks. Garrett Crochet, 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 9 Ks. Corbin Burns was nails against the Dodgers. 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, an earned run, a walk. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. That was Corbin Burns' line. 5 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks. Stephen Kolek was on the mound for the Padres in their 21-0 slapping. He got a complete game shutout as well. 9 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. Just brilliant from him. Nathan Eovaldi, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 8 Ks for Mother Day special. Ronald Blanco, the same thing, 8 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 11 strikeouts there. And then Zach Wheeler, 17 would be crazy. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. That is your outstanding performances. Moving on now, we have our standings check. Let's get into it. The East in the AL, Yankees still atop 23-17. The Red Sox 2 games back. And the Blue Jays 3 games back. They're back to 500 after their 4-game winning streak and their sweep of Seattle. Tampa still in 4th, and then Baltimore 7.5 back. They're 15-24, still struggling on the year. AL Central, we've mentioned already, the Tigers 26-15 are in first. They're 2.5 up on both the Guardians and the Royals. The Guardians have the edge 23-17 over the Royals, who are 24-18. Royals have played 2 extra games, have won 1 and lost 1. The Twins 21-20, above 500 for the first time this season on an 8-game winning streak, an absolute heater there. And then the White Sox 12-29, 14 games back, their last day bad. AL West, despite the sweep against the Blue Jays, Seattle is still in first place in the West. Thankfully, the A's had a tough weekend against the Yankees. The Astros take 2 of 3 from the Reds, but are still second. Seattle is 22-17, 2 games up on both the Astros and the A's. Astros are 20-19. A's are 21-20, so the A's 2 extra games, an extra win and an extra loss. And the Rangers are just the inverse of the A's. They're at 20-21, 1 game under 500. They're 3 games back, still looking to get in the mix of things. Angels 6 games back. They're in last, 16-23. In the NL East, the Mets are still first. They're 26-15. They're a game and a half up on the Phillies, who are 24-16. So very close stuff there between those 2 teams. The Braves are in third. They're 19-21, getting closer and closer to 500. They're turning things around, and they should be getting Acuna back soon. The Nationals, on a 5-game losing streak, they have struggled. They have slipped to 4th, 17-24, and they're only a game up on the Marlins, who are 15-24 right now, and are last in the East. The NL Central, we've mentioned the Cubs, 23-18. They're in first, with the Cardinals a game back of them. They're at 22-19. Brewers at 20-21 in third, and the Reds 20-22 in fourth. So an extra game for the Reds that they unfortunately lost. That's the difference between them. Pirates 14-27, struggling and not looking good. And then in the NL West, the Dodgers 27-14. They're closing in on the 30-win mark. Padres 25-14, only a game back. The Dodgers have played 2 extra games and have won them both. So how about that? Giants 24-17, and then Diamondbacks 1 game up on 500 after their split with the Dodgers. They're 21-20. It's a big difference in the division from 4th to 3rd because the Rockies are, 4th to 5th. Rockies 7-33. And, they are very bad. That is your standings check. And that gets us to our upcoming series for the week here, for the week that is coming up. The Rays are in town to take on the Blue Jays, Twins at Oilers, Red Sox at Tigers, Brewers at Guardians, Royals at Astros, Rockies at Rangers, Yankees at Mariners, Nationals at Braves, Pirates at Mets, Cardinals at Phillies, Marlins at Cubs, White Sox at Reds, D-backs at Giants, A's at Dodgers, and the Angels are in San Diego to take on the Padres. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our episode here today. Thank you everybody so much for tuning on in. Enjoy some baseball this week. Enjoy some sports this week. Again, NBA postseason, NHL postseason, the playoffs. I guess is what it is. If you've got a team to root for, to cheer on for in the final 8 right now, or in the middle of round 2, I guess. Games 3s, games 4s coming up. Enjoy some of that. Enjoy some baseball. It's gonna be a good week for all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, buddy, so much, and I will see you on Friday.